He held the world chess crown 5 times, then lost it to Magnus in 2013, only to return with an entire army of new Indian prodigies. So we asked Vishy Anand, does the title still bear the same weight, or has the crown changed more than those that wear it?
I was not really interested in what it meant and what the history was. As a player, I was angry at my play.
The Norwegian
camp is
going crazy,
and we have
a new world champion.
I thought, well, I think this is not who I am. I think I'm better than this. But I should be able to prove myself. But first I had to recover from the defeat and the disappointment. Finally, when I became a Grandmaster, I remember it was in December '87 when I finished my norms, and it was huge. It was news all over the country, and many people heard of me back then. The number of Grandmasters in the world was far fewer. I was the only one from India, and in the entire world it was a much lower number. So then you can imagine the importance of this title.
Really had Kasparov worried.
The World Championship took 13 years longer. I played my first title match against Kasparov, and this was 5 years later I became world champion for the first time, and that was also a milestone. Chess started to grow in India. Roughly from the time I became Grandmaster, it started to grow, and we developed this method, this system. There were former chess players who started coaching institutes. They started academies. They started passing on their knowledge, and adapted for modern time. Similar to what happened once in the Soviet Union. So when these youngsters discovered the game and wanted to play, the setup was waiting. It was funny because I had kind of assumed that the game was going to be a draw. And so I was not really paying attention. I went to see my wife and son. We were all sitting around, and then suddenly message after message started to appear on my phone. The notifications went crazy. And I thought, there's only one thing which could explain so many notifications, but it was impossible. How do you lose that position? 2 seconds ago, I didn't think it was possible, and then suddenly you realize he's world champion. But I was very happy for him. Another Indian world champion at the age of 18, the youngest ever, because I'd been working with him for the last, at that point, 4 years in my academy. I felt a particular pride, and that he was from my city and state as well. People are happy that another Indian had become a world champion. I think, in a sense, it has retained its weight. Look at it this way. The younger generation, without exception, are very hungry for this title. It means a lot to them. If you take people like Pragnananda, in fact, most of the young Indians, though they're all big fans of the faster formats, they block time and they take classical chess very seriously, and they try their best in this cycle. And then you can see the same with the Turkish youngsters and the Uzbek youngsters and so on. They come, they try, and that's heartening to see. But we now have a rapid champion, blitz champion. We are going to start the new total world chess championship, have a combined champion. So of course, if you have many competitions called the world, there's some possibility for people to get confused or focus on one. But what happens is, people who enjoy one competition come back for another. They simply want to enjoy a sporting event. I mean, nobody's tired of watching 20 different football competitions. Well, why can't we aspire to that? The Total World Championship Cycle will give qualifiers for the candidates. So that's the thing. So we still try to maintain the traditional Classical World Championship as the event. 140 year cycle roughly, great tradition. We keep that, but we also, keep up with the audience and keep up with trends in sports. I think the current generation, it's funny, they actually call this offline chess. They call it over-the-board chess. And for me, it was chess, but they have a special name for it, which tells you just how far the needle has moved. So there's a bit of that. The younger generation is maybe ideological is the wrong word. They don't have fundamental principles. We used to grow up thinking you had to put your pawns here and you had to put your pieces like this, and this was a healthy structure and this was a bad. I mean, it was quite judgmental. And what the computer has shown us is that all these judgments are probabilistic. They work some of the time, they don't work some of the time, and you have to kind of not be too dogmatic. Yeah, maybe that's a better word. The current generation is, I think, almost non-dogmatic. It's very hard to find something that they think which might be wrong. It's so dependent, they're taking it from the computer and just trying to assimilate what it is saying because it is right, kind of on that assumption. 30 years ago, I called someone from a payphone and this was something like that. And it's very similar in chess. You think of some old way of doing things, but the modern generation, I think, well, they're so young. It still fascinates me. Every day, even if I'm sitting in the car, I'm sitting somewhere, I'm doing something else, suddenly a chess position will come into my head and you think, or you see a puzzle and then you can't get it out of your head till you solve it, or you see a beautiful game and you think, but what if you had done that? That's part of me. It will not change probably in another 30 years also, but that's part of me.
And that's it!
Oh, wow.
Well, congrats to him, but it was good fun.